Good morning, guys. It's October, and oof, right? If you're waking up this morning, you're seeing pretty red charts. So I started doing a live stream because I felt some kind of way when my microphone didn't record, or the audio didn't record a 34-minute long video. So I wanted to talk about some things uh, that I talked about in the video on the live stream. So those that attended, thanks for showing up. Now, if I'm thinking about maybe doing one on Saturday, we'll see. Um, if you guys want to attend, I'll update and we'll do the live feed and we can talk about tickers or whatever. I'm trying to do it on YouTube just to kind of broaden this out a little bit, try to get us more popular because we need to be more popular, guys. We need to. Still, as I talked to in the video, I got the application, I believe, approved. I'm just waiting for my invite link, registration link to give out to you guys. Now, I do need to at least try to get 50 of you. So everybody sign up. It's free. Try to participate. There's cash prizes in this. And there's some bragging rights because we're going against other trading groups. And this is where we can shine. This is where we can show these tools work very, very well in making really good profit in a fast amount of time, or long-term investments. However you want to play it, these tools are the money. I'm just a spokesperson for them. So back to SPY. So I was discussing the video. A main thing I was looking at, and I was talking about it, is I had some scenarios playing out, right? And these lines that you see are provided by other time frame bands. I just created new boundaries for them and some different scenarios that I'm looking at to see what we're going to do, right? And of course, this is just simulated scenarios, but hey, it's worth a shot, right? So right now we're testing this trend right here, okay? And this would put it in this, let's say we got A, B, and C scenario, okay, and then D. So A, we've already failed, right? A was this one right here. And now we're testing B, right, which is a lot tighter. And if we continue on to B channel, it's either going to climb up through here and we might go sideways, or it might try to go back up, but it's still going to, I think it's going to keep pulling this direction, right? Just because we're still in a sell squeeze. Now, if you look at the other scenario, we're talking about C right here. This is saying we reject this price here at 426. We possibly drop all the way down to 410. And then we start climbing up the long route where 430, the whole 430s areas becomes resistance for us, right? That's going to be a tough one to hit again if we do fall below it. All right. So we got to get above 430 this morning, stay above it. And then we'll see which one of these plays out. It's not necessarily that this first scenario is not possible, but it has to happen pretty quick because you can see that the bands are still squeezing through here. So there's not a lot of time. Matter of fact, I'm going to put another line just to confuse you all. Put another line. I'm just going to put it right where that other candle was kind of closing. Sorry, folks. I'm trying to get this right here. Why it doesn't do those lines, I don't know. I'm going to have to do it, okay, the slow way. Right, so we're just going to put a line right there where the other band is, the other lines on the band. So then we got a little shorter squeeze through here. Now there's another possible scenario on the 13th, which is that next? No, so that's a couple weeks out. So that's one scenario possible. But we can kind of play a little simulation of where we think price is going to go, right? And so far, it failed this first trend, right? And it broke through pretty heavy. So now we're testing this next trend line. Now if it stays above it, it's going to fall into this wedge right here, right? Give or take. And so we can already see there's going to be a squeeze through that 430. So 430 is going to be a really strong resistance today, is what I'm saying. All right, that's what I'm getting at. In the current time, right, in a day trading time, we're bullish testing, right? We're still bearish on the higher time frame where we're testing that trend, but we're bullish testing, right? So for some lottos, you might be able to get some SPY calls in and surprise everyone, and hit up that 430, maybe 433 or whatever, before it rejects again. But I would not hold SPY, over the weekend. There's way too much catalyst and events going on right now to hold any kind of long term on SPY calls right now. And same goes for puts, right? It's kind of it's getting into this. Both levels are getting risky. So that's usually when we see choppy sideways action, which we might see today. Might see some profit taking going on, and then some more sideways action, and maybe another run up or run down tonight. So Tesla, I was in a stream or in a voice chat with some other guys yesterday, and I'm looking at Tesla here. It's testing this bounce here at 370, around there, 369, 370. Of course, it reacted to the market as well. Let me get a better chart than that. Let's see if we can get on a lower chart. So you can see, all right, the catalyst or whatever you want to call it, right? Like the profit right here was at 800, around 800, right? And it failed to get above that again. So it started rejecting. Now it's rejecting through its last variance right here. It's testing the VWAP. And if it breaks this VWAP, it's a longer drop. Now, sometimes in these situations, right, where you get into these gray zones, it's a big difference in price, right? That's $30 difference in price. So what I like to do is I don't know where that mark came from. What I like to do is I put a little line or something in between this gray zone, right? This is for guys that are using the bands. This is going to be a quick lesson. So in these little gray zones, I put a line in there, right? And then I go to a lower time frame and I see if that line's in the green bands. Okay, so it's in the green bands, right? So I know that the 761 could be an area where it's trying to push down, but this could also become the resistance, right? So this line that's currently rendering at 768 could turn into a resistance because there are some room levels to go down. So I was looking around 735 for Tesla if we do have a massive drop today in the markets, for maybe another rebuy. But that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. So 760 currently, it needs to hold above. Could be a good opportunity if it holds above that. But just remember that 768 would be your resistance. So that's what's cool about the lines, is you can get some more information before the market even opens. And I think we're currently bullish on a smaller time frame. We're testing, and I wouldn't say bullish, we're testing. We're testing a trend because you can still see on the trend momentum, right? Saying like, shut your fat mouth, Thomas. We're still downtrending. So we go down this way, right? And you can still see we're downtrending on this. But sellers might be getting the sellers might be getting exhausted a little bit, right? They've been selling it for a while, so something to look out with Tesla, Facebook, yeah. See, this is turn on the music, okay? So this is why I buy low premiums, right? Like I'm not spending a whole bunch of money, and usually those are out of money, right? They're out of monies, they're cheap, and there's a little bit more risk playing them. But to me, it's not as risky to my wallet, right? It's more risky in a bear market, right? or whatever kind of cycle we're in right now. I'm not even sure yet. I would say bear, arguably. But if we're in that situation, I'm not going to spend in the money. I'm not going to spend money on in the money, especially if I don't have access and I'm not doing this full time, right? Like I don't have time to, look at the charts and, play a riskier trade for a short, amount of time. People who do, hey, props to you, right? But it's risky for me to just, blow that kind of money on a contract and then I miss the exit or, the exit opportunity. So that's kind of what I'm like looking for, in those scenarios. And what the heck is going on here? Sorry about that. My phone started like answering my damn voices. Turned off my music. Anyway, so we have Facebook now is going to test 336, right? It's kind of in the middle here, so it most likely will. And we don't have any buy signals yet, and we have a downtrend. Okay, so it needs to hold at 335 right now. My premium, whatever I spent, it wasn't that much. It's probably going to zero, right? I got to take that L. If I can get out of this morning and get half, probably won't. But it is what it is. That's why I do those cheaper plays, right? In a bull market, you can play the in the money more, right? Because the uptrends are stronger, more momentum, more IV. So you don't have to worry about all that bear mentality that's going on right now in the markets, right? Bear mentality meaning like people are getting in these trades and selling quickly. As soon as they see danger, they're out of there, right? So it's just one of those games right now. What the market's doing, it's throwing all these catalysts out there, the events and everything, and spooking day traders to even trade. But let's not be afraid, as what Warren Buffett says, when the market is going red. Let's see. What else do we want to look at? I mean, everything is red, guys. Everything. Let's see what how our euro looks right now. Let's take a look at euro. There was a significant bounce that needed to hold, and it looks like it is trying to hold still for euro. So if this breaks, man, we're gonna have some serious issues for the euro market today. So it pretty much needs to hold. It's been downtrending. You can see right here, right? This was a big squeeze that happened through. Let that load back up. You can see we've been squeezing through. You can see the band squeezing through right on this one particular price or the line. And if it breaks that, the next level is even lower. So for people playing Forex, I would say if it broke under, this line right here, this price is at $1.1578 or whatever you want to call it. The next level down here would be 15.3. So $1.15.3. Yeah. If there's a better way to read Forex in the morning, you guys tell me. CEI was also talked about in my video. And unfortunately, because it wasn't recording the audio, you guys maybe missed it. But I did talk about this level right here at 480. I did. If you go back to the video, you can see I'm actually pointing at that level on the deviations before it even came. So I knew that there was going to be momentum with CEI. There was definitely a potential high. So this is what usually happens, right? There's a run up, right? The people down here probably were holders. You know what I mean? They've been holding for a while, whatever. And then it started moving up, and then the trend changed, right? The sentiment changed, and then people start getting into this trade. Okay, so it created new levels of support. So that was for algos, for robots to use, right? So they just use those new levels of support, and it's pretty simple, right? Like it gets above this level here. If it stays above this level, it's going to go to the next, and if it stays above that level, it's going to go to the next. If it drops below this line here, it's going to go back to that line, right? it's just a simple stair step strategy. So also correlated with how the overbought the bands were, right? Where you can see it went up here and it kind of went parabolic a little bit, which most penny stocks do, right? And it hit this third deviation or whatever, and then it rejected, right? That's kind of what I was seeing too in the video before it even happened. And this is what happens is it comes up, right? People take profit. Then you have like this morning trend, right? Morning bounce the next day or whatever it was. Was it right there? What happened yesterday? Or did it not do anything? This is probably a couple days or whatever. But anyway, there was another bounce, right? Trying to get back up to those highs or whatever, a morning bounce, and then it dropped, right? And now it's dropping still, and the excitement's over. So I would probably get out of CEI if I was you, right? Um, Obviously, now that's my human opinion. The logic is if it gets above, 352, then it might be playable again. But right now, I see it squeezing. Let's see if the Nessie's saying anything. Yeah, it's just a little tiny, a lot of mess through here. So I would actually say if it drops below this 319, get rid of it. Get rid of it. You don't have to be stuck holding money like that. Of course, VIX gapped up because SPY gapped down. So let's see what we got here. Looks like we are testing a resistance on this deviation on this bottom. I don't know if you guys can see that. This testing right here on this line, this price at this deviation. So it was an overbought scenario, right? Where the price could only go so high. And then it also rendered a sell on the line. So we'll see if there's more momentum going on for this sell that's happened with SPY. If SPY could have a nice little uh, bounce this morning. We'll see. But I would say keep that level in mind now when it comes to VIX. I would say over 28.52. Let's hedge a bet against SPY again. And let's see if we can get into the $30 range this before the end of the day. That's if SPY is going to be bearish. If it's bullish, don't play with VIX. Not yet. Okay. If it's bullish, then you want to get back down here that $25 range if you're playing with VIX. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. It had a nice little move up this morning. Not really sure what's going on with it. Never really pay attention that much. It's one of those things like if you don't pay attention to Bitcoin, Bitcoin does its thing. When everybody's paying attention to it, that's when there's too much volatility going on, and it's not even worth getting into the trades, right? Now it is mindful that this is getting into an overbought scenario, but Bitcoin loves to trend up in these channels right here, these deviation channels. Now, if it breaks below this 44,678, I think I've said this before, and this is where you can use another tip here, and you grab this bands right here, and you just shoot a line through, right? Just hypothetically, we're thinking that's what's going to happen, right? The bands are going to keep moving that direction. And then we have a horizontal line. We're just going to trace that line that's already there, okay? So now what we created is a little bit of a time wedge. A time wedge meaning eventually these bands are going to, this line right here is going to squeeze with this line if it keeps moving up. And we're looking about 840. So that's about a couple hours from now. So we'll see what Bitcoin's doing at 840. And there's another little one at 10 o'clock. So we'll see what those two little marks are doing. But we know that a bigger significance is going to happen here about 840. So pay attention to Bitcoin around there. It might go into a sideways. It might drop back down and test that level about 840. And then let's see if it tries to pop up or go even lower. And then let's see if there's another bounce down here at like 43,000 or something. Right? That's how I'd play the scalp this morning with it. I mean, it's been in a bullish scenario, but yeah, that's how I'd play that. You're seeing there's an uptrend right now too. So, excuse me. So yeah, of course, if you guys ever have like other ones that you want to talk about, you just hit me up through the request, and I will take a look at them. So yeah, let's see here. We kind of let's look at the 10-minute for AMC. I just wanted to take a look at AMC real quick. Hit my radar. So 38.43, it's trying to hold that support again. It looks like there was a little profit taking happen yesterday. That's usually, what happens sometimes when there's this, negative catalyst. The short squeezers will try to push up AMC again. And now it's kind of holding in a stalemate. I would say if it stays above 35.93, then AMC is okay. I like AMC, right? Like way more than I like GameStop. We're going to use AMC, and they might partner up with another company. There's just so many different elements right now with AMC and how the world's dealing with COVID, and even if movies are closing, but they still are watching movies on their computers and whatnot, right? And I think AMC is going to partner up with Disney, or something's going to happen. I would not just forget about AMC, right? It could be a really good investment. So as long as we stay above 25. If it hit 25, that's where I definitely buy again, 1,000%. Because right now we're kind of in a stalemate, right? It keeps hitting these previous highs before, previous zones actually. So if it comes back up again, it still has $50 it has to face with resistance. So, and also, like, if you guys follow the futures, I'd look at the oil. If people want to know why your gas prices are going up, go ahead and put this highlight this one on your watch list. CL1. It's just the futures for oil, and it will let you know when gas is gonna get really nasty. And as I was telling my wife, like over 75 for oil, not like that, but like if it gets into the $80 range, then we can probably see $4 a gallon, right? Or like high $3 a gallon. So I know we're already paying 3 right now. It's going to be high 3. It just gets worse, right? So we need a rejection from like this 74, 72 range, and then break 62 to get back into cheap gas. So we're squeezing right now. I was just taking a look at it. A variance squeeze is going on. So maybe we'll get that. We'll get that for us petrol guys out there. All right, guys. That's all the time I have right now. And again, if I do that live stream, I'll hit you guys up and let you know what time I'm doing it, and it'll probably be on YouTube. Please like, share, and subscribe. Like it, guys. Just like it. I know you like it because I see the views. You just have to hit the likes. That's how we get more views, right? So help a brother out. We love you all. Peace.